Well, hello, my beautiful people. We're going to be making chicken and dumplings today. Now, the last time I made dumplings on my channel, I made the drop biscuits, which is just, a can of biscuits, pinch them in two, and drop them in the broth. Today, we're making homemade, rolled out, old-fashioned grainy biscuits. These are Southern style. These are old school. You're not going to have to add excuse me, you're not going to have to put Crisco in them. You're not going to have to put baking powder in them. Nothing. Uh, this is my mama's old rolling pin. What I got here is 3 cups of flour in the bowl, and it's all purpose. I'm using white lily, but you can use any kind that you have. And I've made a well in there, well, a hole, and then I'm going to use broth. That's the way great grannies would have done it, would have used their old rooster broth. Because, sometimes they didn't have milk. Sometimes they didn't have an egg. There was things that they didn't have, so they used what they had. So this is 3 cups of flour. I'm going to let my broth cool down, and I'll bring y'all back. And the broth is from the chicken that I actually cooked. It's not canned broth or anything. Or bouillon cubes. Now, for some reason, I don't have enough. I'll add a little milk in with it. But back in the days, a lot of times they didn't do that. And I've seen a lot of people put egg in them. That's fine, and that's good and everything, but that's more like of a noodle. So I don't add egg. All I've got in here was flour and my salt. I'll bring y'all back in a little bit. Okay, I've got about a cup of liquid here for my broth. Got a fork. I don't have no pastry cutter or nothing. Trying to get out. She smells like chicken cooking. So what I'm gonna do is pour a little bit of the broth in my well or hole, whatever you want to call it. You just kind of want to go around easy. I may have to put the camera down here. Let me try something else here. It's not going to work out for me. Bailey, get on. Add some more liquid. You just want to do a little at a time. You don't want to dump it all in there at once. I'll never forget the first time I made dumplings for my boys. I have no idea what I did wrong. But I was going to drop them, like drop dumplings. And when it was time for supper, there was no dumplings. It was just all broth and chicken. Okay, I'm going to get these stirred up, and I'll bring you back when I can show you exactly what I'm doing. It's kind of hard with one hand to do dumplings. I need a camera I can hang up from the ceiling or something. Okay. Now my counter is clean. So when I roll these out, don't freak out that I'm just throwing them on my counter because I don't have a cutting board. I wished I had one of the old-fashioned wooden ones, but I don't have one. So, okay, now you can see it's going to need more broth. See, it's still not all mixed together. So, I'll bring you right back. Baby, get on. Every time I'm cooking, she loves to come in here and cook. I think she's trying to cook with me. So, in the day, this makes the dumplings richer when you're adding the broth. makes a real rich dumpling. Like I say, you can use milk. You can use buttermilk. But me, I like the broth because it makes them really rich, and it's the way my great grandma would have done it. And to me, it's just it's just a butter dumpling. I don't make these often, but when I do, this is when I make the rolled ones, this is the way I do it. Yeah, like I say, I'll never forget the first time. First time the boys were. I got one son that don't like dumplings, but they were like, "Mom, what happened to the dumplings?" I'm like, "Wow, what's wrong?" Looked in there, and there were no dumplings. And I think that happens when you add baking powder, or maybe too much baking powder, and because they just all disappeared. So we had to do with what we had to for supper. Now I'm just going to kind of add a little bit more flour. My hands are clean. Of course, I'm the only one eating them, so it wouldn't matter anyways. Now I'm just going to kind of work the flour in with the dough. And this is going to make quite a bit. So usually what I do is I eat all my dumplings for 3 nights. And if there's a bunch left, I'll either freeze them. You can either freeze the dough, or you can freeze the dough, or you can freeze the cooked chicken and dumplings. Either way you want to. If you freeze them already cooked, you ain't got to go through all this. I've been wanting to make some homemade bread too for y'all. I say there's many ways that people make their chicken and dumplings, but this is the one that I like best. It's a richer dough, and I don't know, to me it's just, I like it better. Okay, so I'm going to take this out and I'm going to lay that there. I made some flour to my counter. You want to kind of knead it. You don't want to knead it a lot, because if you do, they're going to be too tough. But I do like my dumplings tough and chewy. So, like I say, it depends on how you like your stuff. Maybe you like them tough. Maybe you like them big and fluffy. If you do, add that baking powder and drop them from a spoon. If you don't like them tough and chewy, roll them out. And don't have no baking powder or nothing. Now, these do have a little salt in them. And I will check. They may need more salt. And what I use to cut them, good old pizza cutter. So, and I do roll them thin. I like them thin. And so you can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can see in the mixture the little specks and stuff. That is from my broth. That's the richness. So, let me see if I can get this camera back on here. I've never attempted to make homemade noodles, but I've been tempted to, so I may do that one day. You want to just make sure that, your flour's not going to stick. Goodness, I ain't gonna have much room up here on this counter. I need to go thrift shopping and find me an old cutting board. Mama, I had my grandma's, but I don't have it. And I'll never part with Mama's rolling pin. This has made many a biscuit. I remember one time, Mom and Dad never fought. I mean, you know, they had their little arguments. But I remember one time, Dad did something, and I don't even remember what it was. Mom got out her Mom was making biscuits. And she got her rolling pin. She was shaking it at him, and oh my God, she's going to hit him in the head with it. But she didn't. But I sure thought she was going to. Okay, see, they're not real thin. And then all you want to do is go through here. Oops, my camera. Go through here. Whoops, I made a mess there. Now the broth's not ready for me to put it in there yet because I turned it off. Because you want your broth cold. You don't want it hot when you put them in your dumplings or your flour mixture. You want your broth cooled. So here you go. I've got a bunch of dumplings, and I'll bring y'all back when it's time to put them in the broth. Okay, I'm going to show y'all my chicken and broth. Now, excuse this around the pan. It is cleanest from where it's boiled. I used all dark meat. I used chicken thighs. I do not like chicken breast at all. So, all my meat was thighs. I think I used 8 thighs in here. And over here, I've got a plate of chicken. I'm going to put it away in the freezer for, I'll probably make a pan of chicken and dressing, or maybe chicken salad or something one day. But I'm not going to use, I don't need that, that much chicken in here. So I thought I'd just show y'all that. And when the broth starts boiling, all I'll do is take this, and some of them's kind of sticky, and I'll drop them in from my pizza cutter. Or if I can use my hand, I'll use my hand, but it's easier with the pizza cutter. Anyways, bring y'all back. Okay. These are ready to drop in. Bailey's driving me crazy. She's needing to go outside. So I'm going to try to get through this. Broth's boiling. I'm going to use my hand on some of these because they're really sticky and they're not wanting to come up. I probably let them sit too long. You just drop them in your broth. I should have added more flour, but I thought I had to add it quite a bit, but that's okay. They'll be okay. As you can see, they're going to be chewy. I'm going to put you on hold. Okay. So they're done. Doesn't take long. If your broth is boiling, it does not take long to get done. See if I can get one out and show you. So flat, chewy dumplings. So these are your basic, when you're broke. You got your flour and you got your broth. You can use plain water if you need to, or you can use milk, buttermilk, whatever you like. And also, you can also put celery and stuff in there if you like, but I like plain old chicken and dumplings, the way Great Granny made them. Anyways, I'm going to Turn this off now. I need to take Bailey out. She's being something today. And I like a lot of pepper in mine. I don't know about y'all, but I like a lot of pepper. Then I'll come back in and eat me a bowl of chicken and dumplings, and then I'll have them probably 3 days. I'll be burnt out on them, then I'll put whatever's left in the freezer. Y'all have a blessed day. Subscribe if you haven't already. Love you all. And I want to say thanks to my viewers and my subscribers, my family, for being here. I'll talk to you guys later.